Shaka paradiana makaparados paradiada. Shalada brahadiana. Leko parade shaladesha. Brahile kebos paradinis andis. Umekanaya. Umekanaya. Shada brahadis. Oh. Umekanaya, 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 umekanaya. Umekanaya, 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 oh, shalala balaniyo na 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 na, umekanaya. Shakapelele bosh. Omekanaya. 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 La baboshe le baba. Kebelia. Barado sabarade kebon celebro sarade. Omekanaya. 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 Lehilos parados makandish. Omekanaya. Greetings, viewers all around the globe. This is Son of David, the voice of heaven. Today, I will be doing the continuity of the previous message. The Nigeria problem today is connected to TB Joshua. Please, if this is your first time, I would urge you to go through the previous message so you will understand what we are doing here. Before I begin to teach from the very passage we read in the previous message, we didn't finish it because of time, so I had to minimize. I have a message from the Lord. Yeah. While I was in my quiet moment meditating, He came to me with a word. He said, the head of your pastors are useless. It will take many heads to bury TB Joshua. The head of your pastors are useless. It will take many heads to bury TB Joshua. Like I said before, you won't understand this message if you have not listened to the first one. This is the part 2. Now you might begin to wonder, why did he say so? I told us, I said, let your pastors come to the public and condemn themselves the way they condemned him. Then I will now inquire from the Lord what next to be done. But the Lord is telling me that their heads are useless. It won't be enough to bury him. It will take many heads. Meaning, the sin committed against God in TB Joshua is higher than the sin Saul committed against God in the Gibeonites. Because if you look at where we read, I read again, verse 6. Let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, who the Lord did choose. And the king said, I will give them. So 7 heads was what they required to appease the spirits. They didn't say they will hang it before a strange gods. No, before the Lord. Now you might begin to wonder, when did God start accepting human sacrifices? Situation can warrant it. Beside this, remember, the Bible said that a certain king slew his son unto the Lord, so he can reverse the battle against Israel. And when he did that, God fought Israel. But God already promised Israel that they will win the battle, and they were prevailing already. But when the king inquired and understood the secret behind their victory against them was God, so he took his first son and sacrificed it. That was the allegory of what God was to do on the cross in Jesus. So God couldn't refuse such sacrifice. For that was what he compelled Abraham to do, giving the promise to him, offering Isaac. And Hebrews said, he that received the offering gave his only son in return, Jesus Christ. And Jesus too was a sacrifice to take away sins. What about the case of Jephthah, who said to God that when you give me victory, whatever that will come to welcome me first from my house when I return from the battle, I will give unto you. It was the daughter that came, and the Lord didn't stop him. And he wasn't a coward. He fulfilled his vow, and the daughter was noble to yield to it. I'm speaking to religious drunkards who want to quote scriptures. So now, 7 men were given to them, and they hung them before the Lord to take away the plague that was ravaging Israel because of what Saul did against those people. Notice, number 1, they were not Israelites. Then number 2, they were not anointed. TB Joshua is God's anointed. And the Bible said, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm, including your pastors. For there was no exemption that the anointed can touch the anointed when God has not given you the power to judge the man. This time it is not because the man has erred, but you people were moved out of envy to murder a man. So the Lord is saying that the head of your generals is not enough. No. I remember in the video I taught many months ago, I kept the link in my previous message. I said go through it, where I was talking about the burial, that God said the burial they did for him, that is a poor burial, that is coming to do his burial, and that will require the head of so many people. That was what I said long ago. So it won't look as if because the season is near, I'm now fabricating it. No. All these signs you see today, they were not yet in the limelight. You didn't see it coming before I talked about this, and before I also gave the prophecy where I said I saw disaster everywhere, killing everywhere. I played the video recently, one of my previous messages now. I played the video where I was talking about Tinubu's heart, that they murdered him, that there is a demon in him. So that's the video I'm talking about. So you see that all that you are seeing today, they were prophesied. So my messages are continuity. I'm still journeying. I have not digressed from the paths. So God is saying that the head of your generals are not enough. That is why in my very previous message, I was showing us something concerning the earthquake that will take place in Revelation level. I showed us that before that earthquake, it was the killing of the two witnesses first that took place. And they didn't allow their dead body to be laid to rest. And I explained that despite all the accusations, persecutions he went through while he was alive, after his death, they continued. So they didn't let him to rest. When the dead man died, you stop talking about him. So when you keep talking about him for evil, you keep spoiling him, then you are not allowing him to rest. So that's what the Bible meant when they said they didn't allow their dead body to rest. And I gave us BBC, for example, how after a man died, all of a sudden they started again. So you get it. So now, then I not talked about the earthquake. What was that earthquake for? First, for justice. It was judgment unto justice. And the eradicating of the wicked, the cleansing, the purifying of the earth through the blood of the wicked, so that peace can reign. So that the righteous that will remain will see and they will be affrighted. Then fear will come. Lawlessness will be taken away by the blood of these monsters. And I told you that there will be a revolution, both in the government and in the church, the spiritual government and the political government. Because those officiating there today, they are all corrupt and they are all monsters. So new set of people we have to emerge, both in the political world and in the religious world. Because what you people have for rulers, both in the two sector, they are all monsters. Yes, I said so. Take the video today. So now, God is saying that the head of your generals won't be enough to bury him. So even if they come to the public to condemn themselves, is not enough. Do you know why? There was a time I came here, I said that the Lord said this is the end of the river to the men who persecuted Prophet TB Joshua, who murdered him. Before then, I was sending messages to them to warn them from their evil. They should come out and repent. They didn't hearken. So when God was done waiting, he said this is the end of the river, meaning they have concluded their faith. Yes. It was in that message I said, God said, if Joseph Suleiman will continue to listen to you, he will be saved. I still have the message there. The end of the river to the men who persecuted TB Joshua. I have it on this channel. So I'm not fabricating it. So now, I told us that. So why? Because God gave them time, but the time elapsed and they didn't make use of it. So they don't have usefulness again. They are futile. Let me give you an example from the scripture. One time, God spoke by the mouth of his prophet and said to the children of Israel, do away with your idols. Wash yourself from your sin. Then I will know what to do with you. Meaning, at that time, they were useless. God cannot do anything with them. They were trash. Have you considered why God sentenced people to hell? Why he condemns people to hell? Though not him that condemned them, but their unbelief condemns them. But when they come, he says, depart. And the next thing, you see them in hell because they are trash. You trash into the trash. Trash are waste products. They are things that are no longer useful. So God is saying that your generals are trash. That is why he said their head is useless. Their head cannot take away the plague. No. Do you know why again? It was Saul that killed the people. Saul was already long dead. So those that were required to die, they were innocent. They were not the killer. So these were innocent people whose life were given for innocent people that Saul destroyed. Are you saying that now? But the head of your generals are not innocent. They are the real killers. So their head cannot, especially when it is a prophet, not just a prophet of that order that they persecuted and murdered in cold blood. Yes, they killed him before he died. For what they caused him to go through is enough to take a man's life if the Holy Ghost was not with him, if God didn't make him strong and strengthen him. Do you know what it means for a man to wake up and when you look at the magazine, they have wrote all manner of rubbish They put your picture and they call you occultic, rapist, murderer, all manner of, and pastors sponsor such nonsense. Not just outsiders, even those who ought to defend you or console you, they are still adding to your problem, like the friends of Job. A man was already going through too much. They came to console him and they ended up attacking him, all in the name of correction and rebuke. When in the spirit realm, he was declared perfect already, and it was a trial for him. But they were using the normal knowledge they had that, oh, it may be your sons did this, that happened. But in the spirit realm, it was not about sons. For Job always offered sacrifice to God, saying that it may be that my children have caused God in their hearts. So by that sacrifices, he atoned, he removes the judgment. So God called him perfect man. But his friends, with their religious knowledge, they frustrated him. That is exactly what your pastors did, and they did worse, quoting scriptures to murder a man who God has not condemned. So he said that the head of your pastors are useless, because the head of the people that were used to appease the spirit, these heads were innocent. Yes. These heads were what? Innocent. Innocent head. Not corrupt head like that of your pastors. So he said it requires many. Because it wasn't just your pastors that did it. No, their members did. The unbelievers did. So it became a national thing. Like the way they took Jesus and a large congregation ordered for his death. Even when Pilate was doing his best to deliver Jesus from their hand, making them to understand that this man is an innocent man. I have not seen anything to hold to crucify this man. They said crucify him. Then he now brought a criminal, a murderer, someone that they know this person is an ostentatious, a popular, a notorious criminal. So he shouldn't be accepted. So to him, he thought that strategy could deliver Jesus from their hands. But they were so determined, they were so moved with envy and anger that they said, leave Barnabas, free him, kill this one, kill this fellow, do away with him. They insulted him and said all manner of things to him. They thought they were doing the right thing, but they didn't know they were possessed of the devil. It was a national affair. The whole people came against him. Who? The Jews, his own. The church crucified him more than the world crucified him. For even Muslims loved him, and they wept when they heard of his death. So with these exigencies, you understand why the Lord said that the head of your pastors won't be enough. It requires many heads to bury him. So in other words, they are beyond help. There's nothing they can do about it. They will all perish. That's the essence of that earthquake. Prophecy is attributed. And I told us when Jesus died, earthquake took place. So if the two witnesses died and all of that fulfilled, an earthquake took place, then you should understand. And I told us the earthquake is not physical earthquake. These are events that will shake the world, that will swallow many lives and make the world afraid. That's why at the end the Bible said the remnant we are frightened. Things that can make people afraid. Horror. So now if you read further, the Bible said, but the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the lost oath that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. But the king took the two sons of Rizpah and the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare unto Saul, Ammoni and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Micah, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Meholatites. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before the Lord. And they fell all 7 together, and were put to death in the days of harvest, in the first days, in the beginning of barley harvest. And Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock from the beginning of harvest until water dropped upon them out of heaven, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. And it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took. Take note. It was after this justice was executed Then verse 12, listen. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan, his son, from the men of Jabesh Gilead, which had stolen them from the streets of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hanged them, when the Philistines had slain Saul in Gibeah. And he brought up from thence the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son, and they gathered the bones of them that were hanged, and the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son buried they in the country of Benjamin in Zelah, in the sepulchre of Kish his father. And they performed all that the king commanded. And after that, God was entreated for the land. After that, God was entreated for the land. Prayer cannot stop it. But why did I read this verse? Listen very well. Before the plague, David did not come to consciousness to go and bring back the bones of Saul and Jonathan. Then when the plague started, he didn't come to consciousness. But when he inquired from the Lord and justice was rendered, then knowledge came, consciousness came to bring back the glory of Israel to Israel. Why do I say so? Now bones were hung, and men of Jabesh Gilead went and stole it and buried it, stole the bone and kept it with them. Now follow. What does that bone represent? The glory. The glory. Why is that bone important? Look at what David said about Saul and Jonathan. He said Saul and Jonathan are stronger than lion. They are swifter than the eagle. When he heard of their deaths, he said, how are the mighty falling, and the weapons of war broken? So he now said Saul and Jonathan, they were stronger than lion and swifter than eagle. So these were great men. So he said the news shouldn't go abroad, lest the uncircumcised rejoice. So these were strong men. So when these men fell, it is glory if the bone is in your community. It is glory if the bone is in your village. It's just like when you hear of great people that history holds, and you travel maybe for your pilgrimage or whatever, and they come and tell you this is where Jesus was buried, and they come and tell you this is where this happened, this is where this happened. You know, those kind of things. So it is glory to such territory, such domain. So now these people understood, if they take this bone and bring it to their side, meaning bury it there, that each time people want to talk about this glory will be ascribed to that land. But where was this glory supposed to be, and where was Saul supposed to be buried? In Benjamin, before he was a Benjamite. You get it? So he didn't come to David's understanding at that time to go and bring it. He was under a spell because he was reigning under injustice, though he was not a man of injustice. A man of injustice reigned before him, but as soon as he entered the throne, the first thing he ought to have done was to give justice to those who were oppressed, but he was just reigning. So God came for him. That is why before he died, he taught Solomon justice. He said, Solomon, my son, if you will seek peace in your reign, remove this, remove that, kill this, kill that, attack Shimei, use your wisdom, set trap. I know you are wise. Do this. So make sure these people don't die natural death if you will see peace. Yes, just the same way he experienced horror as a king during his time because of the bloody men that were surrounding him, Solomon would have experienced it. So Solomon obeyed his father. That is why he became the most pacific king in Israel. He didn't see battle for one day. So there is so much battle in Nigeria, so much trouble and disaster, because bloody men are seated on the throne. Bloody men are friends to leaders, both in the religious sector and the political sector. So if God could fight a land, even when a righteous man like David was on the throne, because injustice was still hanging and justice was not served, how much more will God fight a land when wicked rulers are there? Men who killed a man. The number two thing you must also understand about the bone of Saul and Jonathan is that they were not actually resting in peace. Yes, because justice was not served. Why? Remember, Joseph said, don't leave my bone in Egypt. Take it to Israel, because that's where he belongs. So when you bury a man in the wrong place, he won't have peace. He will be roaming around. So long he was not buried in Benjamin, there was no peace for them. The Bible said no peace for the wicked. Yes. So he was indebted. Men who are indebted don't rest. That is why your generals will not rest. So it was when David served justice, then his sons paid for it. He paid the debt he was owing. Paul will say, "Owe no man but love." Instead of your pastors to love him, they were not owing him because they crucified him unlawfully. The Bible said, "Do the law permit a man to condemn a man when he does not understand what he does?" So they condemned a man against the law because they didn't understand what he was doing. So Saul didn't have peace. He didn't have peace. Samuel told him, he said, "By tomorrow you and your two sons will be with me." Meaning they are going to die, go to the other side. But when they died, God didn't allow his body to be buried because he did a lot of injustice. He butchered the priests, killed his family, and one escaped and came to David and told David what Saul did. Then he said, "Abide with me, and you shall be in safeguard. For your adversary is my adversary." Meaning, if Saul will get to you, he will pass through me. So look at the kind of abomination he committed. And he was expecting natural burial as soon as he died. God didn't give him. So those people persisted and kept his bone there. And another group of people came to steal it. Criminals came for the glory. And to his disadvantage. Because so long the bone is there, he can't rest. Yes. So it was when justice was served, then glory was restored back to the people of Benjamin. So if Nigeria will see glory, justice must be served first. I told you people that the glory has departed from Nigeria. That is why this discombobulation and disaster has befallen you people. And every breaking of the day, you keep seeing advancements. You keep seeing enlargements. When I say advancement and enlargement, I'm talking about the problem. It begins to what? Multiply and magnify. It becomes more cyclopean and Brobdingnagian. It was when justice was served that the eyes was opened, that knowledge came. Didn't you read with me? Read with me, and you will see. As soon as these things were performed, God's anger was appeased and God entreated. Then he went. So do you see it? So when God is angry, he will block your understanding. Things that they ought to do to ameliorate the problem, they won't see it. They will see solution. Solution will be like problem. They will see problem. Problem will be solution to them. And when they make step, Nigeria will enter problem. That's how a leader will enter power. Then all he will be thinking is how to borrow money from China. To do this, to do that. At the end of the day, he will put you people inside debt. Did he not think that thing will be the solution of the country, but rather increase the problem? Because you people are indebted spiritually. You haven't paid it. That's why you people are also indebted financially. Pay your debts that you owe. So the Lord said that the head of your generals is not enough. That it will take many heads. Then, number 2 message the Lord gave to me, this is for Nigeria. He said, before this, I said something in my previous message. I said that very soon you will see killing in the churches. They will keep killing. Destruction everywhere, that you people will run away from the church. That was when I was answering a certain question, that what should the regular Christians do? I said your pastors are proud, withdraw from them. But you people cannot keep it. And because you people cannot keep it, that nature will force it on you people. That dangers will keep coming. So, after that message, a brother came to me, I think after 2 days or after that day, and told me that bandits just took numerous numbers of people from the church, school, and all of that. I remembered my word that the church will not be safe. So after he told me this and said they are asking for huge amount of money, billions or whatever. Now, his point of saying this is that money is no longer circulating. That instead of money to be circulating, they are now pushing the money into the bush. That's his own point. But it helped me to remember what I told you people, that the church will no longer be safe. Then when I was meditating in the night, I was on my bed, not yet sleeping. The Lord came to me and said, let them go for riots, as there will still be killing in your schools and your churches. He said, let them go for rioting. Go for riots. As there will still be what? Killing in your schools and churches. There is difference between riots and protests. To protest is to object. It can be calm, it can be gentle. But riots is a tumultuous noise done by large group of people. And it involves damaging of properties. So it's coercion, violence, brutality. So let them go for riot. As there will still be killing in their churches and in their schools. That's the word of the Lord. If you like, take it. If you like, leave it. But you keep seeing signs. You don't agree with my messages, but time and season agrees with it, and is enough. Yes, you don't agree with it, but nature agrees with it. The things you see, the occurrences agrees with it. I was watching a video of Prophet TB Joshua this morning, and I saw him saying something that each time he prophesies, they don't believe him until the thing comes to pass. So he was now saying this one he's saying, believe it before it comes to pass. So in that video, he began to advise politicians. Though in my next video, I'm going to play part of the video and I will do emphasis, but I'm just trying to touch something. He was advising politicians and advising Nigerians how they should carry the youth along. It's a popular video. Those of you listening to me, you've come across it. Content creators are always using the video. So in that video, you realize what I told you people, that God would have used him to ameliorate the problem of Nigeria, just like Daniel and Joseph. But because you people did not believe in him, he couldn't work. What did Jesus say? The Bible said he couldn't work much miracle in the city because they didn't believe in him. And that made him to leave. So if Jesus, who is God, could not work much miracle, what makes you think TB Joshua can do more than what he did, since you people didn't receive him? Jesus said it is only in a man's country and in his family that a prophet is without a honor. So because of that, he cannot be effective. I'm saying this in respect to a drunkard who came to the comment section and said that TB Joshua was not interested in politics, so therefore he wouldn't have solved the problem of Nigeria. So if he was not interested in the leadership of Nigeria, why then did he make that video telling you carry the youth along? If there is a chairman as an elder, let a youth be the junior chairman. He started saying every position, let youth involve, so that youth will come out and talk to the fellow. What did you think he was doing? What did Joseph do in Egypt when Pharaoh called him? Pharaoh called him and he interpreted the dream. And Pharaoh said, what shall be done? He said, look for a discreet man. By him, this and that will be done. And Pharaoh now said, no man is as discreet as you. Pharaoh now gave him that power to officiate. How can a man who you people did not receive or accept officiate? How can a man who you people disbelieve even his counsel, even though you didn't ask for it? He so loved you people that he came to even tell you people, even though he knows you won't believe and you didn't ask for his practitioner. It was a man that recommended Joseph to Pharaoh. If you study your Bible, Joseph was in the prison, saw a man and interpreted vision and said, remember me when you are remembered. So that man forgot him. But when there was a need, he said, oh, I have sinned. I remember my fault now. And he told Pharaoh his experience with Joseph in the prison. Recommendation. You saw a mighty man and you people did not recommend him. And you people did not go to inquire from the Lord by his mouth, as those in the Bible used to do. They go to a prophet and say, what shall we do? This and that and that. They did it. So you want him to force himself on you people or to start campaigning. Is he a politician? I didn't even say that he's interested in politics. I was talking about his role in the leadership of Nigeria, how he would have operated like Joseph and Daniel, solving problems, giving counsel. And that was exactly what he did in that video. I'm going to drop the link of this very video in the comment section. Then in my next episode, I will teach more, so that those of you who have not watched it and see what he was doing there, if it is not exactly what I said about him as Joseph and Daniel. But you people did not take the message serious. So you still see that half the solution, half of the solution to Nigeria's problem were all wrapped up in that message. I know why I use the word half, because there are other mysteries people don't know. Yes, if you had invited him, he would have spoken more. If they needed his service, he would have counseled more. They didn't need him, so he counseled and he left them. But in the case of Joseph, they recommended and Pharaoh invited. Did you people invite him? I'm asking. You didn't invite him. So that was why he was able to preserve Egypt from the disaster that was come. If you are listening to him, this disaster you people are seeing today, it wouldn't have come. Yes. Even this issue of Nnamdi Kanu that's happened now, people are not tagging that video to it again, because they are aware of the danger that will still come, because the Igbo tribe will not fold their hands. In my next videos, I'm going to touch mysteries about Nnamdi Kanu's imprisonment, all of that. I have a lot of things to teach, but I can't put all of them together in one video. So, but I'm just touching things. You get it? You didn't invite him. In the case of Daniel, he was invited. After he solved that problem that others could not solve, he solved it once. So from that time, each time the Nebuchadnezzar dream or any problem arises, they call him. That's it. So when Bathsheba, the son of Nebuchadnezzar, saw a handwriting on the wall that he didn't understand, and all the magicians failed, it was someone that recommended Daniel. He said, don't bother yourself, don't panic. There is a man who has the Spirit of God, the Holy God. There is nothing hidden from him. During the days of your father, there is nothing that he could not placate with the understanding God gave him. Then Bathsheba fetched him. He said, go and bring him. Then Daniel solved the problem. Did you people invite him? I'm asking you, religious drunkards, political drunkards, ravens, audacious and rapacious wolves. You didn't invite him. Yet he came as a prophet and gave you people prophecy and gave you people counsel. All the time he was alive. Did you? So one of the reasons is because your evil pastors, your generals, they discredited him and murdered him. If they had accepted him and gave him the handshake of friendship, as Peter did with Paul, as James and John did with Paul, Paul said they gave him the handshake of friendship when they saw the grace of God upon him. They saw the grace and they brought disgrace upon him. That his God will disgrace all of you, and he has started already. And it will be obvious. Yes, if they had given him that handshake of friendship and give him space, he would have been able to manifest more. He couldn't use the mantle all that God gave him. He couldn't use it. He couldn't express it enough. There was limitation because of unbelief and rejection. I told you he was the one, the successor of that Babalola's mantle. Look at the things Babalola did with his mantle. So imagine a man who now received it, it duplicates once it gets into the hands of a successor. Check Elijah and Elisha. And he didn't express enough because of where he was. Imagine a land that disbelieved him in that manner. Look at all the things he did. So imagine if they had believed him, what would have happened? TB Joshua did not reveal enough. So when I said that he was the solution God sent to you people, but not to complete it, for another is to come after him, or was to come after him, I know what I was talking about. And I remember how I told us those days that he was the one waging, through his intercession, waging all the problem. But you people did not know. You were crucifying. And as soon as God removed him from among you, problem came upon you people. In my last previous message, I saw a comment like that. A brother was saying, or a sister saying that it may be that he was the one interceding for the land, and all of this problem we are seeing today didn't come, and yet the world did not know. I smiled. In my heart, I said, it's not it may be. He's the one, for I said it long ago. Go and search for the video. But it's becoming clearer to you people. You people will perish if you don't listen to me. So I cannot finish all I came here with. I rehearse again that the head of your generals is not enough. It will take many people. So it is prophecy. There will be earthquake, an event that will shake the world and swallow lives. Then now, as for Nigerians, God said go for riots. That if you don't go for riots, the killing in the churches and in your schools will not stop. Let them go for riot, else there will still be killing in your schools and in your churches. It's the word of the Lord. I believe I am fulfilled in this very video. In my next video, I'm going to touch other things about TB Joshua and the man Nnamdi Kanu. There are mysteries I am going to unveil there, and it will be connected to the things I have taught us in the past. Like I said, my message is one. I don't digress. I'm journeying in a straight path. There is a street called Streets in Art of Apostle. It is that street that I'm operating from. This is the voice of heaven, Son of David. Wisdom is crying in the streets of YouTube.